nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda and approve the consent calendar.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Alderman Laws, second by Alderwoman Huffman. Without hearing any discussion on this matter, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Yes.
Dieter.
Yes.
Duner.
Yes.
Horner.
Yes.
Huffman.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item 3, unfinished business. Item A, consideration of mayoral veto of ordinance number 1385. An ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri approving the election of changes under the Missouri Local Government Employees Retirement System. This time we have everyone has a copy of the objections that I posted. The chair will entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1385.
Is this to
Approve.
override? No.
Is to approve the ordinance of the approving loggers.
Ordinance 1385 was the one that was passed last month to approve the change in loggers retirement. If you would like that to pass, you will make a motion to approve.
The L6 at 0%.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve that.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Laws, a second by Alderwoman Huffman to approve ordinance number 1385. Any discussion?
When it says consideration of mayoral veto of ordinance number 1385, are we voting to approve it with the L6 0%, or are we voting to approve the mayor's veto? Because it's confliction.
You're voting to uphold your vote last month on the ordinance. So you're voting to approve the L6 loggers.
The veto is not an ordinance. The ordinance is what you're approving.
Carly, do you have the statutory language that we just looked up?
Not on me.
Okay. And there is a statutory language which is the correct motion. So let me get that for you to make sure that you have the correct motion for you.
Yeah, I believe the language, well, you can look it up, but I believe they must vote to approve the ordinance.
We literally just read it in my office 5 minutes ago, so I apologize. I thought that was on here as well. Of course, Wi-Fi does not work well here.
James, are you looking at the ordinance or are you looking at the state statute?
The statute, here we go, I've got it. So the correct form of the ordinance, or the correct form of the question to be recorded by the city clerk shall be this: shall the bill pass, the objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding, for bill, 1380, ordinance number 1385. So that would be the ordinance that Alderman Laws is making, and the second by Alderwoman Huffman. And that's what the record will reflect.
And just for clarification, the vote or the motion was made.
So a vote in the affirmative is to override the mayor's veto.
So if you vote yes on 1385, it overrides the mayor's veto.
Correct.
Okay, is everybody clear now? We have a motion on the floor, a second. Any discussion, questions, conversation pertaining to this motion? Okay, we'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Laws.
Yes.
Bryant.
No.
Dieter.
Yes.
Duner.
Yes.
Horner.
No.
Huffman.
Yes.
4-2, motion carries. Thank you all for the consideration. I want to say it was not an easy thing to do, but I felt like it was the right thing to do. So appreciate you going through this exercise with us. Next item, new business. Bill number 1427, an ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri to amend the budget for the 24-25 fiscal year. Can I get a motion on this item, please? Okay, we have a motion to approve Bill 1427 as ordinance by Alderman Bryant, a second by Alderman Laws. Any questions, concerns, discussion on this item?
Okay, it says to amend the budget for the 24-25 fiscal year. What was those amendment changes? Because that expires today.
Yeah, they're right there in front of you, all the changes, all the amendments that were sent out in the packet, I believe.
They look like it's basically a housekeeping issue. It only increased the budget by $8,000.
Yeah, it's the City of Troy, Missouri 25 budget amendments right there. Any questions, concerns on this item? Okay, I want to ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Bryant?
Yes.
Peter?
Yep.
Buhner?
Yes.
Horner?
Yes.
Huffman?
Yes.
Laws?
Yes.
Motion carries, thank you. Item B, Bill number 1428, an ordinance of the City of Troy, Missouri adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending on June 30th, 2026, and appropriating funds pursuant thereto. I better read that a second time. Bill number 1428, an ordinance of the City of Troy, Missouri adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending on June 30, 2026, and appropriating funds pursuant thereto. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Okay, Alderman Laws made a motion to approve 1428, seconded by Alderman Dukert. Any questions or comments on this item?
And this includes the loggers, L6 with the zero contribution.
That is correct.
Correct.
Yes.
No major changes since our last workshop?
There were quite a few changes that kind of wash each other out. We increased the sales tax projection a little bit. I increased a few other projections. Then we also added in some new expenses. We had to move, we got money, we received money 2 years ago for hail damage to city buildings, and we're waiting. There's a long story with that, but we've had a difficulty getting that contractor to finish it. So we've never paid any of those out, so I had to move those expenses into the new year. So instead of being in fund balance, it's in the new budget. There again, it's kind of a housekeeping thing. Hopefully we'll get that taken care of this year, but none of those things really made a big difference in the bottom line. I added the STD, the short-term disability, pumped up a few expenses that looked a little bit too small, but like I said, nothing major.
And I asked Linda also to add some additional funds to assist us in police chief search next year as well. So again, we pumped up our revenues maybe 125,000, and we pumped up expenses maybe 100. So in the end, we made up pretty little ground, but we're still there.
Shortfall went from 994,530 to 992,150. So very little difference overall. Any other questions, comments on this item? Call the roll, please.
Laws?
Yes.
Bryant?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Buhner?
Yes.
Horner?
No.
Huffman?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel and contract.